Hello and welcome to Midwest Ohio, or Midwest Horizon, as this map is actually called. As you can see, I have moved all the equipment. I actually decided to buy a new farm, this up here instead, because it has this incredible huge field here that we can harvest for barley. And we also have this field here with potatoes. Now it has this annoying little outstretch or whatever it is here that we're going to deal with in some ways. Let's go take a look at it if we can. So what I want to do now is to see if we can find it. Let's see how close we can get to that little outstretch. Guess we're just going to take the ordinary road here. Now there are still some choppiness on this map here, and I'm really not sure why, but it is a bit annoying. Oh, it's the lake or river or whatever you want to call it that is going right through our field. Or is it just land? No, it's just bushes, actually. Well, it's still a bit annoying because it means that we can't really sow anything here. Alright, but nevertheless, I think it's going to work. I'm still contemplating whether I should, who is it actually playing? Whether I should buy a potato harvester to harvest the potatoes, or just plow them over and seed something else here. Perhaps wheat or barley, something like that. I'm thinking that when we have, maybe we should seed soybeans instead, or canola. Here in Denmark, where I live, it's really, at this time of year, it is really the season for canola right now. So, well, not in the river. Whoa! Whoa. It is really the season for, as you can see, there's still a little bit of choppiness. Yeah, it is really the season for canola, so maybe that would be a nice tribute. And then we also get to test to see whether Big Bud can handle these fields or not when I run him with cosplay. Let's just park here. There you go. Or perhaps no. I think we should take the truck up there. Now, I'm not sure whether these small graphic glitches there are here is because of my graphics card. It shouldn't, hopefully not be. Or it's simply because I'm using relatively old drivers. Alright, so if we're going to do something with animals, I think it should be here. Now, this is a field. No, it's not a field. Alright, but still there are grass here. But I'm contemplating on putting all the equipment we need here. You know, all the silos and stuff around here, so that we can get that. Let's take a look at it, because we're going to buy some, no, not landscaping, buildings. Now I have a couple of farmhouses here. I'm going to install a little mod because we have a house up there. Right. What was that? Farmhouse, so there are two types. Oh, we can get both the German and the all-American type farmhouse here. Perhaps we're going to put a farmhouse here as well. I'm not sure about that yet. We might also just there is a mod where the house is simply described as a little deck of chairs. And then you can use those chairs to sleep in, I suppose. But for now, let's put some of the buildings that we need. Oh yeah, in selling off, what I did off camera was actually that I sold off all the grains that were at the old, all the produce from the old harvested, and sold off all the old produce from the initial farm that I bought in the previous video. And then by selling off that and get a pretty good penny, and then also selling off the land itself, I got enough that we could buy this huge field of land and have a little surplus as well. We still had to keep the loan, so that's not going to change. Yeah, I'm not sure about starting with silos. Let's start with... we don't need water tanks yet. We probably do need a fuel tank. And we also need seed, solid fertilizer, and perhaps also liquid. So we have a herbicide, solid, we have all what we need except lime. And lime we can get from one of these. We can also get seeds from one of these, but nevertheless, that's solid and fertilizer. Alright, so let's put down... They're not so expensive, so that's not a problem. And they will cost a little bit extra, but I'm not so worried about that. Let's start by seed tank. I'm going to place it sort of a bit inland so that we have... What was it to move it up or down? Left control QE. We can't really move it that much up or that much down. Well, I guess it's good. So we're going to place it there. Then we're going to take the solid fertilizer tank. Maybe you should place it in a row like this. Yeah, that might be a good idea. No, that was not what I wanted. This was what I wanted. So something like this. And then we're going to take the liquid fertilizer tank and place it like that here. And then finally, the herbicide tank, we're going to place that relatively close to the other. No, that was what I wanted. Something like that. Yes. And we have a lot of money still left. Alright, so let's go for this big silo here. I'm pretty sure we'll need it, and I'm going to put that a bit inland as well and make... Let's see... Perhaps something like this, yes. And then I think we can get the extension right off the bat. Yes, we have enough money for that. So now we have, I would say, should we go for another one? Yeah, it probably will be a good idea. Like that. Let's take a look at it. Where is it? There. It looks pretty nice. Now we have sort of a pretty good silo extension to, and this needs both plowing and all sorts of stuff. But we're not going to do that. And now we can put our produce in if we're not going to sell it right away. So here's the thing, should we... Yeah, let's run over that that field. We might have to put some other stuff here. I might also put, now we have grass, but I might put concrete all the way around so it matches the gravel or whatever it is that we have here. But yeah, let's take the car for a spin back to the farm. And then let's put Big Butt at work and plant some canola. Sit here? Yeah. Alright, we're in. So let's fetch Big Bot and seed thingy. I actually think I'm going to use Big Bot to drive one of them and the other tractor to drive the other. Yeah, doesn't really matter. I am really bad at driving these articulated tractors. But like I said, Big Bot is simply... It's a find. It's really a find. I really can't think of any other tractor that you can buy in this game that gives you that amount of horsepower for that amount of income, that amount of money. Let's make a comparison. Just a quick comparison. So Big Bot offers... I'm going to large tractors, yes, where is he? There. Big Bot offers 1100 horsepower for 405,000. So let's find a comparable tractor. Let's take, for instance, the case. The quad track, it gives you 525 horsepower for 438,000. Now, if you look at it, this is, of course, there's no doubt, you can see it back here. It's a much more advanced tractor. It has a lot more connections to it, power outtakes and all that stuff. But in its essence, and you can also look at this, this is the small Big Bot. Smaller Big Bot, the 450, that's what it's called. Still here you get 500 horsepower for, no, I don't want to buy it, for 225,000. So it's, let's see, 225. Let's see what's 225. The closest tractor is this 269 horsepower John Deere 7R, roughly. So you definitely get a lot of equipment. You get a lot for your money buying this Big Bot tractor. But let's use this guy here. Is he still attached? Yes. I hope that he can pull the seed wagon. It's funny that I'm talking about a tractor like it's a person. It's not. I hope that it can pull the seed wagon. Oh, it can. Perfect. Now it is obvious that since I haven't bought the any of the wagons or equipment to give us fertilize, to spread liquid fertilizer or anything like that. What? Let's see if it works this way. Yeah, alright. So what I was saying was, since I haven't bought any of the... Let's just turn them off. Since I haven't bought any of the equipment to spread liquid fertilizer or lime or anything like that, the first harvest we do here, the first also what I'm going to seed right now, will probably be without any sort of fertilizer on the field or herbicide or anything like that. We might be able to do some stuff, but I'm not sure about it as of now. That's going to show up later. And let's go back with him. So now we have this huge wagon filled with seeds, and we're going to attach it to Big Bud, and then we're going to see whether we can seed with it or not on this field here, because it has this strange look to it. All right. There we go. Let's get this out of the way. Just park it here. There's no need to be. Eventually I think I'm going to get twin wheels on Big Bud. Perhaps even tri-wheels, I'm not sure about that yet. Alright, so now I just have to decide where to start. Yeah, I know this is not really good for the hinges, but I just want to align Big Bud and all this row of equipment with the edge of the field, like this. Alright, so let's put up the courseplay. This field is 69, so we're going to... I'm just going to align Big Bud so that he's well aligned with the field where I want him to start. I actually considered right now, let's just make the course anyway. Let's see, 69, yes. Should be... you can see the field lines, yes. I'm just curious about something. And of course I can't see that without the... I'm curious how to see how it handles that part up there, but I can't. Alright, that's okay, and we have this, it's 18 meters, that's okay. Starting current, direction, automatic. Now I don't want it to return to first point, I want one headland. I want... yeah, you can seed the headland first, but I want it to be turn radius. And bypass islands, let's just take simple. I'm not sure it's going to be needed. So let's see how the course looks. And he's going to start there, alright. Also it does calculate that in it. So there are some overlaps all the way around. Looks a bit funny, but yeah. Alright, so now we have Big Bud started up. I'm not going to start him, that was the idea that I got. I'm not going to start him seed, because then he's going to drive around and seed, and I really don't have anything else to do. So I think I'm going to fast forward time here. I'm going to pause the video and then fast forward until the barley here is fully grown. And then while he's seeding one field, we can harvest this big field here and sell off the produce. So I think that's a reasonable way to do things. Alright, so see you in a bit. Alright, welcome back to the farm. I did some more stuff while you were away. First of all, I have speeded up the time, so we have now a lot of wheat everywhere. And we also have weeds in our crops here, but given that this is such a huge field, I don't think it's going to make that much of a difference. It is going to give us a reduced income, but I think we'll manage. And also I bought these deck chairs here, as you can see. These are the ones that you can sleep on, so you can actually use this entire house for something other than being decorative. And furthermore, you don't have to buy another house in order to... Interesting. I didn't see that. So this is supposed to be what, sort of a little storage bin or something like that? Alright. But let's get started. I think we're going to start by allowing Big Butt to to seed this field. And obviously, since I had to restart the computer and get that mod, I need also to redo this here. But let's change it to canola, soybeans. Yeah, let's say canola. And then put out this. Now this is obviously restarted. So it's field 69. From here, we want, I think one headland pass is going to do it. I want simple, and yes, let's make the course. Oh, he should start here somewhere. Yes, he is going to do that. Let's see if we can back him up a little bit and put it in on the, not tomato fields, the potato fields. It doesn't matter now because we're not going to get all the produce anyway, so so here we go. And let's say, I think it's Control 7 to start him. Let's just make sure that we have the right one selected. We have. Next closest, let's just say first waypoint, combine. Don't need it. Let's change this to 20. No, 19. And then this to 10 and this to 6. Alright, let's see what he does. Well, that is obviously right. He's going to fold it out. Oh my, it's a huge cedar. But I guess that was the idea anyway. I'm just going to follow him a little bit to see whether he gets stuck on some trees or anything like that. He shouldn't do, now that we have set him to. Also, we gave him one huge headland row. That should be enough for him. Now I know that by letting him turn like this, I'm going to miss part of the field. There's no way around it. But at least I think it's the best way of worse ways to seed using this kind of cedar here. Look at that. Also, I think we should maybe have plowed here first. We're going to do that in the next round. But that's one thing, that we need to buy a plow in order to plow the fields. We're going to use Big Butt for that as well. But let's get to what this movie was supposed to be all about. That is the harvesting. Let's get all the equipment that we need out. Yeah, there are still some choppiness here, unfortunately. There is something I would like to try. Let's see if we can dump the content from this tractor here, the wagon here, directly into the silo. I suppose you should be able to do it. So let's get him started. Let's do the same thing. So this is field 62. We need this and field 62. 30.5 meters, alright. Current vehicle position. Let's do 2 headland rows. No, 3 to be sure. And this is okay. I don't think we need to bypass any islands here. At least I think so. Let's just set it to simple, just to be sure. I don't know if you noticed, but my computer completely stopped working. And I'm pretty sure that was because this is a really huge field. I think I'm going to do a little bit of the pre-work myself, if I can. If I have the maneuver room for it. Start it and make a huge... No, that wasn't what I wanted. Like that, yes. Tight turn. Just wanted to give him a little maneuver room here before I start him. No, stop. Forgot something. So field 62, that's okay. Current. Turn radius. Create field. And now we're ready. So let's start him up. Let's see if he wants to start. There we go. And again, I'm going to follow him a little bit around in order to see how he fares. I have found still, and I want to say that again, using the round turn radius as opposed to smooth or the other, the simple round, the simple turn, make sure that he might miss some little edges of the field, but he won't miss the bulk of the field when he drives around, when he turns. That is only really applicable, you can also see here, for the headland. The other parts are not. I must say, this is a really beautiful combine harvester. There Big Bot was. Hello. Let's see if we can. No, we can't. And he managed to go all the way around without any problems. So I suppose that's a really good, a good deal. Yeah. So now we're just going to wait for him to be filled up. We could... Yeah, why not? He's going 6 miles per hour. Alright. let's just set the for 6 miles per hour, and let's get some grain. Now this is one of the reasons I like to use this mod here, cosplay mod, so that I can do this. I can follow the harvester around in my tractor, so it's not like I'm not going to do anything, that I'm lazy and just want all the workers to do the stuff for me. But it is in fact that I am able to... And there's still some choppiness. It is in fact that I am able to... Yeah, I've stopped, little friend. It is in fact that I'm able to run this this farm here without having to resort to sort of extraneous measures or anything like that. And I tried on the smaller farms, you can actually manage to do this all by yourself. It is doable that you run the harvester until it's full, then you drive the tractor with the auger wagon or tipper or whatever it is up to the tractor, then you get the load, then you sell the load. Either you sell the load or you put it in your silo, and then you do it all over again. It is doable. It takes a heck of a lot of time, but it really isn't that fun. You know, it gets to be very choppy, if you can use that word. I suppose you can use that word. It's annoying that you have to sort of go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth all the time. This is, and particularly, but it is manageable for a little farm. For a big farm with big fields like this, it is almost impossible to get it really to work. So let's see how he does over here. I'm a little curious to see how he does that little thingy sticking out. You could see it over here. I can just turn the... You can see it here. That little thing. Now it's just bushes, so we could just as easily run it over with a plow, I think, perhaps. Now these are the places where we might lose some crops, because the tractor has to go in a really strange way when it turns in order to move around this thingy sticking out, this little field. But it doesn't seem to be actually be that much we lose. What I want to see now, what I really want to see now, is how we're actually going to empty him at this point. Has still some sharpness that I really think is annoying. Oh, this is going to be a little problematic when we have to sow the fields. This little part here, I can see that right now. Perhaps, because as I remember it, the sower is roughly just as big as the harvester head here. So I think I'm going to... Alright, let's see if we can get the tractor in there somehow. Now, I think it has always been a bit problematic, even with or without cosplay, to empty the fields when you empty the harvester when you're doing these headland rows here. Just going to skip over like that. Particularly in a field like this where it is a bit choppy. Let's see if I can. Oh. I can't even see where it is. Let's see if I can back into it. Then. No, wrong way. This is really hard. Might have to move him out. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. That just... Oh. Well, I suppose that's another way to do it. I'm not sure whether I should close this little part off here, because it doesn't give me that much and it's just pretty annoying actually. It's really an annoying part of the field, so I might close off the field. Let's get him started again. Hopefully he can get past my tractor. No. Let's get this little part here as well now we're at it. There we go. in the middle of trees. Yeah, I do think that it might be a really good idea to cut off the field in sort of an angle from over here to over here, and then place something else here, because you can see I missed this little row here, and it's really hard to get that both plowed and sowed and anything like that. Then I just have to recalculate the field edges in courseplay. I think I'm just going to follow him around. And then on the next pass I'm trying to get my way all the way back. Now this is an extremely huge field. I could just as easily, let me just go into the map. Let me see, where are we? We are here. We are up here. I could just as easily seal it off right here. Then leave this as grass or unused or anything like that. Right here. And then have this tremendously huge field here. And still get a lot of produce, a lot of whatever I want to sow here. And that would also make it much easier too. But yeah, I think at least I'm going to seal off this little part here. And yeah, just this little part, because it doesn't give me really anything. It's just annoying, actually. But let's follow our friend around. So that we are ready for the next time he needs to be unloaded. Let's just get the whatever he has right now, because then we can go back and empty this wagon and hopefully catch up with him. Oh, thought I engaged your... There we go. Yep. So as you can see, even with sorry about that, I just lost track of my thoughts. Even with the oh, what are they called? Even with the wheat in the crops, we have already gotten 30,000 liters of barley, and we haven't even finished the first headland row. We're going to do 3 headland rows. Now, in my opinion, the first headland row is always the most difficult, because this is the one that is sort of placed out to all the parts of the outer edges of your field, and there can be trees and whoops and all sorts of very unpleasant things. It's fortunate for me that I'm my own boss, otherwise I would be fired for destroying the crops like that. Alright. And the Optum seems pull this wagon around as well as I hoped. So this is also good. The big bot doesn't seem to be in any trouble. This is also good. It's all good. Let's see. I think we should be able to dump this directly into this bin. Yeah. Pretty cool. And it's already filled. Unfortunately, he is not really that fast. Well, he is actually pretty fast, the tractor I mean, but the problem is that this field is so immensely huge that it takes a while to catch up to him. To take this route here. And I'm going to cheat here as well, because we're not going to get that anyway. The big question is whether Big Bot has enough seeds in that seed of his in order to finish. I'm really not sure about that. Time will tell. Oh, he's up there. That's a main road, so it should be rather easy to get to unload him. Oh, this looks really weird. Why on earth did he just stop? There we go. Let's just drive a little bit of hit. I have absolutely no idea what they are honking of. Is that him? Is that my my harvester that they are honking of? Let's just stop him right here. So I think I'm going to give this episode 10 more minutes, and then I'll stop it and see you in the next episode. Hopefully the choppiness, I'll find some way to reduce the choppiness here, because it's really annoying. I tried to record this at 60 frames per second. I might have to go down to 30 frames per second anyway, even though I would like to have it at 60, but it remains to be seen how much it chops on the movie itself. Yeah, it's definitely those that they're stopping because of him, but I have no idea why. Maybe it's because they think the case harvest is just so incredible beautiful that they have to to stop and look at it. I think I'm just going to follow him around until he begins to blink. Oh. No, not yet. Oh, what the heck. This is really funny. They're just lining up for him. I must admit, I'm really curious to see how much this field actually gives, even with all the weeds, and it needs plowing and it's only 50% fertilized, all that. I'm really not sure why I see this choppiness when I record. Look at that. I am about to empty my second load of barley, and we haven't even concluded the first headland row yet. So this is a really, really, really huge field. Obviously, I'm going to cheat again regarding the... What was it I was thinking about? Oh yes, the I just lost track of my thoughts again. Regarding the little trick I've showed a couple of times now. Look at that, he also sort of halfway through drops a little bit. There's not one... That's really strange. Oh, nevertheless. I'm also going to cheat the heck out of when I have to do the fertilizing and spreading the herbicide and all that, because, well, I think that it's a neat trick. So if you haven't seen any other of my FS19 videos, I can tell you in short, the idea is that you first... The easiest way to do this is that if you have a fertilizer, a seeder that can fertilize as well, or a planter that can fertilize it as well. That doesn't matter. But what you do then is that you first plant, and when you have planted, and obviously in that sense you also have fertilized, then you run over your field just right after you have planted. You run your fields over with herbicide, which will give you the ability to spread the herbicide and kill the weed even before they grow up. And when you have done that, you instantly afterwards can run your fields over with fertilizer once more, because for some reason when you run over your fields with a header, not a header, a sewing machine, or what's it called, and where is he going? Oh well. When you run over your fields with a sewing machine, or that can let's empty him then. Oh, wrong button. Alright, where was I? When you run your fields over... I'm not sure why he's driving like that. Well, nevertheless. When you run your fields over with a seeder that can fertilize as well, you are changing the state of your field. I suppose the idea is that you go from unfertilized to fertilized. When you then run over your fields with this herbicide, you're once again changing the field from... You're changing the state of the field. And you can see that because when you run over the field, you can see that it goes from dark brown to light brown. Oh. There you go. It goes from dark brown to light brown. Then you have changed the state of the field, and if you remember the instructions for FS19 and also 17, whenever you change the state of a field, that is when you run it over with something, or when you... I'm just going to park the tractor here because I'm not sure where he's going to start. Let me see if I can get this. So he's there. Oh, he's going to wait all up there before he changes the lane. Didn't I give him 2 headland rows or just 1? Not just 1. Alright, I suppose that's going to be okay. Yeah. So where was I? Yes. When you change the state of the field, and you do that when you go from fertilized to spreading herbicide, and you can see that, then you can spray the fertilizer once more because you've changed the state of the field. Now, one of the things that I was wondering was whether changing the state of the field in that way, or sorry, whether spraying the herbicide that early, even before the crops have grown up, whether that would just be overridden at some point. And I have only tested this on fast and normal growth rate. I have not tested it on slow, and obviously, I suppose, I have not tested it on no growth at all. But on fast and on medium or normal, it doesn't seem like it. It doesn't seem like what you have done will be overridden and then you are back where you started. Doesn't seem like that. So it seems like it's a viable method for doing these. Even though you could argue that in some sense it is a bit of cheating. It is. It really is a bit of cheating. Because, yeah, you know, you don't really do anything, right? You in reality, what you have to do. I really want to see what he's about to do. Oh, nevertheless. In reality, what you do is that you sow your fields, right? And then you perhaps put down some fertilizer as well. And when you have done that, when you have put down that fertilizer, sowed your fields, sorry, then you wait for the fields you wait for your crops to grow up. And then when they have grown up, you can change, you can do what you want, right? Then you can spray the fertilizer once more if you want. And then you wait furthermore. And I suppose that's the idea here in FS19 as well, is that you wait for your field to be able to you wait for the weeds to grow up, and then when you have weeds, whether they are oh, now I know what he's doing. That's the island he's avoiding. All right. Yes. The idea is then when you have fertilized your fields, if you do that right away, then you wait for the weeds to grow up. And then when you have weeds, you can either run it over with the weeder or you can spray it with herbicide. Either way, the only difference is that the herbicide can do it much sooner and much later. So you can do the weeder and the herbicide in the first growth state of the weeds. You can only do later growth stages of the weeds with the herbicide. And also, when your crops are at the final growth stage, right now, if I were to run over my fields right now with herbicide, it wouldn't do any difference because I'm not able to, you cannot unweed your crops when they are at the final growth stage, when they're ready to be harvested. So, yeah. And just see what his speeds are. Oh. Let's set it to 10. Now let's set it to 8. But I'm going to set the turn speed at 10. Then increase this to 20. Even though he's not able to do 20, I want it to be that, because then eventually when he's going to drive around, he's not going to do it at that old pace. Slow pace, old pace. Slow pace. Alright, so let's see what he's about to do. Yeah, and also the advantage of changing the fields a little bit here, maybe cutting off part of the fields, is that he doesn't have to do these strange maneuvers all the way around in order to harvest the field. Obviously, I think Course-Playing is doing a tremendous job of selecting where and how to harvest the fields, but it's not that good, really. But I think that I'm going to stop him right now. Unfortunately, stop him. Turn off the tractor, and then I'm going to save the course as harvest. If I think it was 62. Either way, I know what it is. Alright, so we have field. Can't even see what it is. Yeah, it was 62. Then the course should be here for him ready. So let's go and check how Big Bud is doing. And there are some small areas that he doesn't get really well. And that is simply because he has 2 hitches here. I could have chosen a smaller. Cedar, because every time he tries to turn around with cedar, as you can see, it's going to move a little bit around, and that is simply because it is 2 hitched, and I haven't found a way to lock the hitches so that he doesn't do anything wrong with it. But I think I'm just going to let him finish off. Oh, he's gotten there, alright. He has performed the headland row, so I think what I might do is, you can see that it's going to turn away from him. There's nothing he really can do about it. So it's going to give him some small patches around. I think I might be able to change, but that's going to be a bit. Turn on field. Let's try to deactivate it and see what he does. I'm afraid that he's going to drive down in the ditch, which would be very not good. And the reason I think he might go down in the ditch, is that I haven't allowed him to make 2 headland rows. We're going to see. You can see I'm afraid that he will have to drive down into because he's going to continue all the way out. Yeah, that was what I thought. Let's see if he can actually manage. No, he can't. Yeah. Oh, he's stuck. Oh no. See if I can get him out somehow. Otherwise I have to reset him. I might have to reset the poor Big Bud. But I think this recording is as long as it's... Oh yes, come on Big Bud, you can do it. Oh yes, there we go. So I think I'm going to allow him to make 2 headland rows, and then maybe even 3. And then, or perhaps I'm just going to seed this myself. That was also an option. I think I'm going to seed this myself off camera, and then I'm going to figure out how to do this the right way. Then I just can show you how to use the GPS mod. So let's just get this sewed here as well. Let me see. Turn this off and put it away. Nope, wrong button. Let me see. Yeah, there we were. Alright, so let's see. Is it Control S? Yeah. So we show guideline snap terrain. No. Let's say auto width 17. Let's increment it. It has to be 18. Yeah, that's okay. And reset offset. Let's try to say auto width. No, it's because I'm a little slanted. Width to. There we go. Alright, so as I remember it, you have to press. Let's see. Is it Alt? No, it's Alt E. Yeah. And then. There we go. And let's just rearrange it so it fits. Sort of like that. Let's find the line. We might want to do this from within Big Bot, and then we lower the seeder. We can press Shift X, and then he's going to do it all by himself. Now you can see why I need that headland row actually. Yeah, we definitely need a second headland row. But I have almost recorded an hour now. I'm going to finish this recording as it is, and then I'm going to see you in the next episode. Hope you have enjoyed yourself. Remember, or as always, give me likes if you like the video. If you don't like the video, then don't give me a like, and all that stuff. You know how it is. So hope to see you around the next time. Bye bye.